From the FBI there, the suspect in the assassination of Charlie Kirk at this stage remains at large. Now, Donald Trump has described this murder as a dark day for America. Here is some of what the US president had to say a bit earlier.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom. This is a dark moment for America.
That's a lot of people, Utah, I'll tell you what. We're going to be here for a couple hours. Get comfortable. Bring the best libs that Utah has to offer.
It only took a single shot to send shockwaves across the entire nation. A shot that didn't just end Charlie Kirk's life, but ripped open a mystery that the FBI is now scrambling to piece together. How does someone walk onto a college campus in broad daylight, climb to a rooftop, take aim at one of the most recognizable conservative figures in America, and vanish into the shadows before anyone can react?
We will not stand for what happened yesterday. We are exhausting every lead. We have every officer invested in this, every investigator, every local agency. The outpouring of support from the law enforcement community has been astounding. We are investing everything we have into this, and we will catch this individual. Having walked through the crime scene, through the hallways of this school, through the classrooms, I can't imagine what the people on scene felt as well. A horrific event where some of them barricaded in classrooms, some of them ran in fear. Can't overstate the tragedy and the horrific event that yesterday was.
This wasn't some chaotic outburst or random act of violence. It was precise, calculated, and chillingly effective, raising questions that go far beyond one man's assassination. Who pulled the trigger? Was it a lone actor, or was someone else orchestrating from behind the scenes? And why would the FBI call it a political assassination so quickly, before the suspect was even identified? The clues that have leaked out, the rifle, the rooftop, the suspect said to be blending in with students, paint a picture straight out of a thriller. But this is no movie. The more details that surface, the more the puzzle deepens, and the bigger the questions become about security, power, and the dangerous new reality of political violence in America. FBI also revealed the weapon used.
This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. The FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! I hope
Stop, folks! Stop! Back up!
Charlie Kirk's final public appearance began like any other stop on his American comeback tour. Utah Valley University was buzzing with energy as more than 3,000 people crowded into the event space, some eager supporters, others curious students drawn in by the prove me wrong setup Kirk had become known for. The atmosphere was tense but civil. Debates, conversations, laughter, and plenty of phones recording every moment. Then, without warning, the ordinary scene turned into one of the most shocking acts of political violence in recent memory. A sharp crack split the air, followed instantly by screams and confusion as Kirk collapsed, clutching his neck. Panic swept through the crowd as people ducked for cover, unsure if more shots were coming. Some froze, others rushed toward the exits, while a few tried to help as blood stained the ground where he had stood. In just a matter of seconds, an event meant to challenge ideas had become the center of a national crisis, broadcast live across social media. The chilling part? Investigators would later reveal that this was no chaotic spur-of-the-moment act. The assassin had been waiting, watching, and prepared to strike with precision. As investigators swarmed the scene, the chilling precision of the attack began to unfold. Just a few hundred feet away from the main stage, law enforcement discovered a high-powered bolt-action rifle stashed near the rooftop where the shot was believed to have been fired. The weapon was carefully placed, almost as if the shooter had expected to abandon it. Alongside the rifle, forensic teams collected palm prints, distinctive shoe impressions, and even forearm markings, clues suggesting the assassin had steadied themselves for the perfect shot. Surveillance footage, though not released to the public, reportedly shows a figure of college age blending into the campus crowd before slipping out of sight. Witness accounts echoed the same story. No one noticed anything unusual until it was too late. Every detail pointed to planning, patience, and chilling confidence. This wasn't an amateur act of rage, but the work of someone who knew exactly what they were doing. Almost immediately, the investigation was clouded by conflicting reports that only fueled public suspicion. Within hours, FBI Director Kash Patel announced that a suspect was in custody, sparking headlines across the country, only for officials to later admit that the person had been released after questioning. Another so-called person of interest was detained briefly, then cleared just as quickly. These reversals painted a picture of chaos, leaving the public wondering whether authorities were withholding critical information or struggling to keep control of the narrative. Each contradiction deepened the sense that this case was far from straightforward. The biggest question hanging over the case is simple: why Charlie Kirk? To his supporters, he was a fearless defender of conservative values, unafraid to take the fight onto college campuses where his ideas often sparked heated debate. To critics, he was a polarizing figure whose sharp rhetoric on immigration, gender, and politics drew heavy backlash. Some speculate the shooter may have been driven by ideology, determined to silence a voice they viewed as dangerous. Others wonder if the assassination was less about Kirk himself and more about the symbolism of targeting a high-profile figure in the middle of a crowded public event. Students on campus revealed that petitions had circulated to cancel Kirk's appearance, but there had been no public record of credible threats beforehand, raising questions about whether authorities underestimated the risk. Online forums, meanwhile, erupted with theories, some pointing to a lone wolf seeking notoriety, others whispering about the possibility of a coordinated plot. What is clear is that the killer didn't stumble into this moment by chance. The rooftop vantage point, the careful timing, and the escape all suggest methodical planning. The unanswered question is whether this plan was the act of one man or something much bigger. In the hours after the shooting, reactions poured in from across the political spectrum, exposing just how divided the country has become. Utah's governor declared the killing a political assassination, while Donald Trump announced that Kirk would be honored posthumously with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Conservative allies mourned him as a martyr for free speech, while opponents, though condemning the violence, pointed to the toxic climate that had surrounded his events for years. On college campuses nationwide, students voiced fear that public debates could now turn into battlegrounds, forcing administrators to rethink security at high-profile appearances. Social media only intensified the storm, with hashtags demanding justice, trending alongside conspiracy theories that questioned the official story. The tragedy was no longer just about Kirk. It had morphed into a national flashpoint on free expression, political extremism, and the alarming rise of targeted violence in public spaces. Despite the evidence collected, the case remains riddled with uncertainty. The shooter's identity is still unknown, the motive remains unconfirmed, and the escape route is a mystery. Officials insist they have clear video footage, yet none has been made public, fueling speculation about what they might be holding back. How did the assassin move unnoticed through a campus swarming with people and police? Was there help from someone inside, or did the killer simply vanish into the crowd? Until those answers surface, the story of Charlie Kirk's assassination remains an open wound and a dangerous puzzle. Charlie Kirk's death has left behind more questions than answers, and every new detail seems to widen the mystery instead of closing it. We know about the rifle, the rooftop, and the chaos that followed, but the who and the why remain frustratingly out of reach. Until the shooter is caught, the case stands as a chilling reminder of how fragile public safety has become in an era of deep political division. Was this the act of a lone extremist, or the first sign of something far more organized? The truth, when it emerges, could shake America even more.